All right, and with that, it looks like we are back and ready to get back into it. Uh, Notably here, Soggy Bottoms got choice of side, and they chose Team 2, aka top side here.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea so that they can just ensure that they get the counter pick on top side. Last game, they won hard through top, but this time maybe they'll be able to get something to ensure that win. I like the adaptation from them. But we're seeing the same classic Eve Kazakhs bans out of Soggy Bottoms, and then the KL Zach Asol out of DDR. Oh, the Oriana this ban this time out of Soggy Bottoms. I did not expect that from them.
They must not have seen the item purchased and then sold. The Majai.
Yeah, that can happen on any channel.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I have
You
no
can
clue
only
what
ban
you're
the
talking
champs,
about.
not the items.
Visual bug. Sorry.
Yeah, it was a visual bug.
Cool, and we got a Lilia picked up for Fife, I must assume. Comfort pick for him, very solid champ. Nice to be able to get that initiation from range, set up for other players. Can really catch teams off guard sometimes.
Yeah, I think Lilia's best role is as a drain tank. So we'll see if Soggy Bottoms play into that by picking a couple tanks for her to use, um, uh, or if they go with a squishier comp, which she might have some troubles dealing a ton of damage into. Just getting some behind the scenes notes on the Majai's purchase last game. Thought it was a
Vi
visual
picked
bug.
up for the Soggy Bottom himself. Must just be a comfort pick. I'm surprised we didn't see. I think Sachin was practicing the Brand jungle a bit, but I don't think we've seen that yet in the Yoshis. But the Jinx, another common mainstay of this tournament.
It's late enough in the uh, tournament now. I know that there was some discussions on the team that they thought the brand was not super effective in these settings. There was some input from other players on the team. I know Sachin was still pretty high on it, but it sounds like they may have worked it out and came up with some other game plan.
Sure.
There was quite a bit of practice with
that does require. I guess that does put a lot of pressure on other roles to frontline for you and do a kind of lead the charge in some degree. Kind of doesn't let you have as much agency of being able to walk into an enemy jungle unwarded as a a lone brand that can just get CC'd and not be able to get your damage off. And we're seeing the Sona back up for Ski Bum. Worked out last game. It was tough in the lane, but I felt like they got through it. Like they got hooked a couple times, but in the end, it ended up being pretty effective in the team fights. It seemed pretty solid.
Yeah, I'm worried about this Jinx pick though, because one of the valuable parts of the Ezreal is that when he got dove on, he has a number of escape options to still do his damage after the fact of getting dove on, whereas Jinx is the least mobile AD carry in the game, in the fact that she has nothing once she's dove on. So hopefully they can play a little bit more defensive and hope that the Vi doesn't land on her, but when you've got Morg, Vi, and Ashe staring you down, as an AD carry, you're not going to have a good time.
Yeah, DDR's drafting some shooters here, ready to get some chain CC going from all over the place.
Yeah, my personal take on the Morgana is that I think it's good if it lands all of its abilities and has great timings on its E, but if those things aren't working well for it, it feels very bad to play with.
I agree.
And as so, hopefully Mons is able to pop off on it and get some good picks for the team off those 3-second bindings. The anti pick here is interesting. Gives the Vi a stun target to ult on top of. So what we can see here is Annie will flash ult, Q stun, and then the Vi should gank and then ult on top of it. So should be good for them there. Great adaptation from them instead of picking up the Oriana again. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have a Leona top from the Red Sheik, which would be an interesting pick.
Really?
No, we'll see who they actually take here. And it's
Whew.
the Urgot again.
The last second swap. For a second, I was like, was there miscommunication? Did he not know he was getting traded the Sona? Or
Yeah, no real front line for DDR again this game, so we'll have to see if they're good enough at kiting backwards against the amount of pick and CC and slows that Soggy Bottoms are bringing in, with a Garen to join the ranks.
Fife has always done a good job historically of weaving in and out of fights, knowing how far he can press his advantage. But there is a lot of pressure on this Sona to get a lot of vision down because there's going to be Annies and Vi's coming from every direction. You got to watch out for the Ash arrow. So having vision is going to be really key to these fights. And I feel like they just DDR just has, or excuse me, Soggy Bottoms just has 5 champions that if you don't see them coming are gonna mess you up if they can.
Yeah, that's a great point because, like, I'm expecting at least once this game, we're gonna get a flash Tibbers on like 2 or 3 of the DDR members, and then a complete wipe after that, since they don't have anyone to stop that from happening. And then the
Yeah.
death ball that is Soggy Bottoms comp just following up. I wonder
Hoggy
what.
Bottom's draft I definitely prefer, but DDR definitely just sticking to some comfort picks for them. I think it worked for them last game.
Yeah, I hope to see a little bit more prio early game out of the DDR bot lane because Jinx with Sona should be able to push waves enough to keep
Mhm.
up with the push from Ashe, since that Ashe Q is so powerful. But we shall see what actually ends up happening in the lane, because if one more binding lands with Ashe follow up, they might be able to get a kill on either target.
What do you think
And then
this? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I just hope to see more aggressive play out of Sachin. I want to see him try to force some ganks out more than he did last game and really try to get Fuller or Red Sheik on the back foot here.
Yeah, I was gonna say too, and that kind of goes hand in hand with that. I was gonna ask, are we thinking Garen's gonna take Ghost again, uh, LRA Start Fox, or do you think he's gonna opt for Telly? He's doing like a Ghost again, having that Vi coming top would potentially be pretty scary for the Urgot. I want to say.
Yeah, I think the Ghost is good, but not as good as it was on Darius.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since Jinx now, if they're fighting in tight corridors, would be able to just throw down the chompers and then back up if he's not already on top of her.
Yeah.
So I hope to see some sort of. I hope to see the TP so that he can split push and really gain that pressure on the side lane and then join the fight late. We know that they won this matchup in the round robin 100% because of a Garen TP. So
Yep. That is a good point. How about this Morgana pick? I feel like they picked it pretty early on in the picks there, but not there's some things that her spell shield can block, but it's not like this Malphite health that you're blocking or anything.
Right, right. I was trying to pick up a Morgana for a Nautilus matchup this Yoshi's, and it does feel good. Just if a Nautilus ults, you just put a black shield down, and there's no Nautilus ult. But everything else about her is very narrow. You're a squishy champion that wants to use your defensive shield on your teammates, that wants to be in the middle of 5 players ulting. It's just a lot of conundrums to navigate. I feel that I was having trouble with, but I do trust Monster to navigate that a little more wisely than I. But I do think it does kind of they with the Ashe and Morgana, they're not going to be able to get a lot of kill pressure, even on the Sona, unless they really catch her in the minion wave or somewhere she really shouldn't be.
one thing I didn't think about till just now that I'm worried about for the Morgana specifically is you have Fife, Fuller, and Sona all doing complete magic damage. So there's a chance that the shield just gets wiped before it ever gets a chance to stop any CC.
That's a good point. I think a lot of people forget about that too. Once the damage shield is gone, the effect is also good point.
Yeah, I wonder if Monster decides to max it or put extra points in that early just to ensure that the Black Shield works, but I don't know what adaptations he can make there. Might have to hold it till really late, and the window that he can use it is way smaller than it was previously. And you can only Black Shield one person, so if Lilia gets like 3 or 4 people in the ult, only one of them's getting stopped if it hasn't been broken yet.
Mm-hmm.
Minions have spawned.
Just a standard 5-point defense here. Let's see if Sachin gets a leash on the bot lane this game. I don't think either jungler got leashes last game, if I remember correctly.
I do not recall. They're going to be late on this leash, though, I think.
No, they'll make it in time. They'll be okay.
Just there. Yeah, you're right.
Vi again went with the Halo Blades. I don't think she's doing enough early game damage with that. Like, Halo Blades is fantastic until like level 11, and then at that point it just drops off. So hopefully he's able to utilize that instead of going with something like Conquer that lets him live a little longer, or Aftershock so that he can live after he ults someone.
A cute play by Monsta. He rooted Red Joker just out of range of the melee minions and just watched 3 of them all die.
I missed that, but I bet Monster's just giggling in the call.
Yeah, cute little play.
If he's already not tilted from last game.
Monster never gets tilted.
Ooh, and a big
Innocent.
retaliation made by this Anivia. Love to see that electrocute working out so nicely.
Him and Santos have a great form of communication, so hopefully that's continued as their lane buddies.
Oh, max range stun from the Anivia.
This is what I was hoping for out of the DDR bot lane, getting the push with the Jinx rockets, but with the Vi pathing top, they're free to do so.
Oh, and a counter
Another
stun here.
good-
The Jabber's dropping super low here. Oh, but he flashes forward, but no, it forces the flash out from the Annie as well.
Great play from both sides.
Yeah, they are scrapping in the mid lane.
Morgana going for a Q, going a little bit wide there. I'd like to see Akio play a little bit more in his own wave.
Yeah, especially with the Ashe W too. You really gotta try to hide behind those minions in this lane.
Yep.
Oh, and we're seeing Soggy bottom up here top, holding that Q, ready to punish this Urgot. Urgot might need to flash here. Oh.
So
He makes it back to Fife, and then we might look for a
great
counter gank here.
counter gank
Fife is
here.
going to start getting some damage down. He's got red and blue buffs. We're seeing Vi has to flash, but he's dropping low. Oh my gosh, this Lilia damage.
I don't think
One more
either-
Q. One more.
That
Oh,
was
he
great
scoops
play
one.
from both sides.
Wait,
Uh,
but Fuller's here. They're going to catch him. He doesn't know. Wow,
Great
what a
run
great
from Fuller.
rotation.
And that's only possible because he was winning the early game, so he's not going to lose much mid for roaming all the way up there. That was
He
one
had
of
that
my.
great trade on Annie that forced her to shop, and he just got a free roam off, and he gets to shop and then TP back. He loses nothing. We talked about Fuller losing some stuff on these roams, but that was beautiful. Monster's walking up, doing a lot of damage to the strings, keeping these mana bars on this Sona low, taxing it.
Yeah, one of my points for Fuller before the series was ensuring that his roams get some value off, because some of his picks earlier in the series he
Oh,
was.
we're seeing Lilia sneaking around mid here.
Let's see if she can do anything.
Could be a hard
here.
force. Vi's kind of in the area, but Annie is a little here.
No
And
I
flash.
don't think it's
can't
gonna be
really
a kill,
do
but it's just
anything.
gonna be really annoying for her.
So Fuller is able to get back and catch that wave too, because
Both Conquerors procced in the top lane.
hopefully Jack can just get this wave in and without losing too much from the gear and running him down.
Speaking of running him down, this might hurt a little bit.
He might actually be dead.
Whoa, 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 Urgot, be careful. Ends up needing to flash out, realizes.
Looks like Fife used his E on the mini map there.
Yup.
That's a
Sending it
classic.
into the terrain.
That
Put
wall,
Valkyrie to sleep.
the wall was looking at him really funny. Let's
Let's see if Garen decides to go for a dive here. He should be hitting 6 soon, but I don't know what his level is at.
He is 75% EXP towards 6 right now.
So it doesn't look like he will be able to get that dive off. He'll get a wave in. Jack has no TP, so he's going to lose that entire wave coming back. Cause I don't. Oh, there's a cannon, so he'll probably lose 4 minions, which is better than losing 6. As we're seeing in the bot lane, Morgana is landing a ton of bindings, but Ashe isn't able to follow up on them. Since I don't know if Santos is prepping his Q status to make sure it's ready for when the bindings land.
Mana bar is a little low kind of all around in this bottom lane, but the Sona and Sona's doing a good job staying alive here, and the Jinx definitely has some resources to fight for this Lilia, who's got an aggressive flank. Oh,
Santos
just goes a
great
little bit
dodge.
wide. He's going to get rooted here. I don't think they have enough damage to bring him down, but they're going to do some big damage in retaliation. The exhaust goes out on the Ashe, but she was already out.
That was a great play from both sides. A great gank path, but also a great Q and dodge out of Santos to ensure that the Lilia didn't get anything out of that. I do want to see Santos use his W less to poke, since Sona's just going to heal that right back up. And the Q should let him get more push priority if he just autos the waves to help them gain some composure down there and get some Q bindings in. We take a look at the gold graph. It looks like Lilia's got a huge lead on the jungler and a nice 500 gold lead in the mid lane. Hopefully they can get some nice spike timings here so before a dragon or a grubs take.
Is there one that you would be prioritizing in these games?
I think for soggy bottoms, I'd be prioritizing dragons. Because the Jinx, currently Jinx and Anivia outscale and Lilia outscale their opponents. So by getting dragons, it allows them to force earlier fights than letting it go longer. So if you think about it, every dragon is 5 minutes added to the timer for the other team to get it.
Mm-hmm.
And so by letting that, if they get 2 or 3 early, that means it's 5 to 10 minutes later that the other team can get soul, which means 5 or 10 more minutes for them to try to win the game
That makes total
before they
sense.
get outscaled.
Yep.
Grubs will be great for DDR, since if Jinx gets excited and then is able to hit a tower, there's more of a likelihood that they take the tower with those grubs and then gets excited again. So opposite needs for both teams, so it's not a bad thing if they just trade dragons and grubs.
That makes sense.
I'm surprised they gave up the grubs though, with how much pressure Johnny is able to get onto Jack here, since he could just clear the wave quick and then help on grubs, but it looks like Sachin just wants to clear his top
I
side
think
jungle.
the mid prio for Anivia is actually starting to really show. Anivia is a little low on mana now, but this Annie is getting outranged.
Let's see if Fuller is able to get the catalyst early. I'm a little confused on this build path since I don't play much mid lane anymore. So I don't know if he's getting that early catalyst or not.
There it is.
Yep. He should now have
Oh, he refunded it.
just another visual bug. He never actually had the catalyst.
He got a blasting wand.
Yep, he had that the whole time. But Anivia is so mana hungry that you are required to get a few mana items to make it so you can actually use your abilities to deal damage.
Please,
Monster just getting up in everyone's face.
They don't know about
But
it.
speaking of in your face, this Fife gank is going to be pretty good. Dodges the Ashe arrow, but the spell shield from the monster tool is going to stop the sleep. One of the few cases where that is really easy to set up. And this Garen top lane might be able to pick up a kill.
Oh, the
Flash
flash.
Blast is
no.
committed top lane actually. We didn't get to see the action, but the Garen ulti did not quite kill the Urgot. Meanwhile, bot lane, lots of stuff going out, getting thrown around, and Red Joker does go down.
Interesting. I don't know if they realized the TP was coming in. They must have seen on the map, but Red Joker stepping up even though they knew the Annie was going to be there. Great play all around by Soggy Bottoms. It looks like Fleur was able to get a plate or two and a few waves, so...
Shout out to Red Sheik in the top lane surviving that, or really thought that Garen was going to get him with that ulti there. Forced the flash to ulti and gets away with it.
Jack should go back to tower.
He needs these minions.
That would have been huge for DDR if the Annie was able to go bot side without and waste her TP without getting a kill there. This Anivia is already up, but now she went bot and was able to get Ashe a kill and some plates off that. Good trade out of Anivia there, but she's got no mana since she didn't buy Catalyst, so she's running low real quick. DaCosta playing a mage mid laner.
Yep. It's not as flashy. You always want to be doing damage, but you gotta set yourself up for success in the future, you know?
One thing I'd like to see, and it's probably just a mental thing of like, because Monster's landing so many bindings, DDR is playing so defensive, but I think that even if, in a 2v2 scenario, if either of them get hit by the binding, they can just win the 2v2.
I agree. Especially if it's like on Sona and she because this Morgana has just been walking up in their face, kind of daring her to do something. And meanwhile, we're seeing a big fight break out mid with this Anivia egg going down. The Vi all committed onto the Lilia. The Jinx rocket just goes right through the wickets. Sorry, that was the friendly Jinx ulti. That was just a little wide up there.
But a heads up play by Marcos to try that, because if it does land when they're low, that could be a huge grab for them and then turn a fight in the bottom when she's excited.
Also true.
Sad timing for the Lilia there, because when she flash Q'd, she was about to ult, but as she was in the ult animation, she got picked up by the Vi.
That was actually pretty clutch by the Vi then.
So it never went off.
Yeah, and I didn't see that animation start. I just saw the Vi ult. That was well played.
But it looks like Anivia did go with the Catalyst this time around, so hopefully she'll have some more mana to fight that mid lane.
He got rooted though. He's getting Ashe arrowed. He might just go down before he can get anything in retaliation. He gets evaporated, but Fuller's here. He wants more. They're going to be able to get Santus for sure, but I think Monster's going to back up. He flashes but gets rooted, but meanwhile Vi's here. Do they want this? I don't think they do.
I don't think they want that.
They're outnumbered. It's just
that was the worst case scenario. The Ashe was able to get the kill on the jungler, and the Sona steals the kill from the Jinx or the Anivia picking it up, so that gold not going to the correct place.
Yeah, I love the look from Fife, but I don't know if there was a ward or not, but they were so prepared for it that the root chain CC with the Ashe arrow, he got blown up before he was able to really get into the back line. And we're seeing Garen, unafraid of Urgot flip, just charging ahead with his... Actually, that's a pretty even trade.
Huge trade, even though he's down like 60,000 gold.
Yeah, we're gonna see Lily try to make something happen up here. Might commit the ulti here. We're gonna see how they're gonna set this up. Okay, they got the Urgot ult down. Yep, that's gonna be a clean kill. That was a beautiful setup.
I should have looked at the ult cooldown before, but I don't know why Jack waited so long to send the ult, because you can send it and then still get the damage off.
You can, yeah. And it does provide a slow that could help the Lilia, but I forget if the initial hit does damage. I don't know if it would have woken him up at that point. I think he wanted to make sure that Lilia woke him up, but yeah, I agree.
That's a fair point.
I don't know that I'm making stuff up. I don't know if it does damage on the first hit or not.
See, Jack is a believer in the school of Tyler 1, so he knows how to properly take towers as Urgot. Since you want to be like autoing twice or 3 times with W and then turning off your W and then naturally autoing and then turning your W back on.
Oh, kind of. So your W swinging in your normal auto attack timer.
Yeah, you're just like maximizing both.
That makes sense.
Uses. So good thing Jack's watched enough T1 to know how that works. Looks like Annie's roaming down here with the Vi. They're gonna have vision of the Vi here. But the Lily is here for a counter.
Lily is here and is actually playing around this ward, but I believe got hawkshot here. Yep.
Yeah, Lily.
Beautiful hawkshot spots it out here. Fuller's catching this rotation, but Vi's here might want to go over the wall. The Jinx rocket goes out. Are they going for this?
They should. If if she's got an ult, she can't throw it out. And he's able
Yeah,
to just
Nivea
walk
unafraid
around.
holding down this area of the jungle.
Yeah, at this point, DDR should be forcing fights against this Soggy Bottom's bot lane since they have a completed item versus a non-completed item on Soggy Bottom side. So no matter what they do, they should just be able to win a fight against them.
And I do believe this Morgana is going Malignant? I think that's what the last chapter is for.
That could be true. Like, that binding, if it lands, might actually be a good thing for them. Because then they can bait the Lilia to come in and kill, so... It would have been interesting to see what would happen if that went in. But Lilia already
Monster's had
got
that
her...
a couple times where he kind of almost is the go button for other teams where he kind of walked up and everyone realized like, oh hey, we're ready. Like this guy, you know, on the Nautilus he was really trying to be proactive making plays, but sometimes they were just ready to retaliate too fast.
So like that throws out, so they should just like walk up and try to fight them because it's like a few second cooldown on the Q. There's nothing they can really do to stop them. I would have loved to seen a cleanse out of the Jinx too. Rather
Yeah,
than
I can see
Ghost.
it.
It's like Ghost is nice if you're feeling like you're gonna have these long extended fights, but if you just get instantly blown up after getting hit by an Ashe ult, then there's no point in having Ghost. That's why I took Exhaust in our last game, because I was like, I can run away, but a Nocturne's just gonna one-shot me even if I'm running a little bit quicker. But Ashe does get the Kraken Slayer completed, so they're at even, or at parity down here.
Lilia's
And
top
then-
again. She has her arm guard now, but I think this Garen's gonna sneak away with his Q speed.
Yep. Unable to land that ball onto him to get the slow to keep going. I wonder if a Rylai's on the Lilia would make sense this game to ensure the slows with, or the extra slows off of the Q damage so that the rest of the team can keep doing their damage and keeping their distance, because Jinx is going to need all of the support she can get to stay alive in these team fights.
I'm not super familiar with Lilia build paths, but I also feel like the Rylai's could feel pretty natural on the Anivia if they wanted to go that route. Oh, we're seeing an aggressive flash forward with the minion getting down for Mr. President. The Jinx ghosts in response, and their team's ready to roll. This is a nice spell shield by Monster Duel, but Santus is here, but I don't know if they're ready for this. Vi goes forward, but she's all alone now. She has no follow-up on this damage, gets to go over the wall. Fife throws an E. Oh, and the Jinx rocket doesn't quite land.
Great
Buller's
flash
still
from
looking for
Anivia.
him here. Walks up, gets a stun. That might be a kill. Oh, he gets him even after the flash with the E. This is just a
She
crazy
has
fight going
egg.
back and forth. Now he's egged.
Looks like
Jericho
Ashe is
looking to
gonna kill
escape
the
out of here.
egg.
The Ashe arrow here to commit. And now a TP coming down on the Tibbers. Then the Sona ulti and another TP in
Garen's
retaliation.
here.
This fight is
It's
going to keep
Garen.
going on forever. The health bar for the whole team dropping so low. And there's just a Garen ulti. What's happening?
Yeah, they decided to leave the egg behind and say good luck, instead of just defending the Lilia egg so that she could come back up and stay in the fight. But I love the idea from both top laners of TPing in and joining the fight, because Jack was able to pick up a 1-for-1 with his TP, and the Garen was able to help their team secure a couple extra kills there. So
Oh, the
Great
side
TPs from both sides.
TP to the Tibbers was the DDR TP to the egg?
I think it was right
no, the ward.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
I think
But
the
all
egg
around
is a
good fighting.
character.
Also, I was wrong about the malignancy. Morgana went looting.
Make sure that that Q pop does a little bit extra damage, and the W gets that proc.
W burn can be pretty brutal, especially if you're stuck rooted in it for 3 seconds.
Yeah, so right now, Ludens and Zaxax will be proccing on W. So the first tick of W will do a decent chunk of damage if it hits a squishier member. But I just don't see the Morgana doing much damage this game, so I would love to see something to help the team, maybe like a Shirellia, so that they can run forward and get in.
Right. So I know some Redemption is a very synergistic item on Morgana, just because if you get a 5-man ulti, you're guaranteed to hit everyone with the Redemption. the Zonias or even just the arm guard component is so instrumental for her. Lets her really go deep and then stay where she needs to be in the fight. Get that positioning. Allows her to have a defensive tool and use her defensive tool on teammates. I'm sure she'll pick it up eventually, but just as a support, your items are very delayed, so we might not see the second item come out for another 10 minutes or so for her. And Morgana's posturing very aggressively here. This Jinx should not be afraid here. This Sandtree Salt goes a little wide on the Ashe here, and this Lilia definitely wants this fight. That's a sleep and an ult committed, and they got a free kill. Yeah. Marcos is excited here on the Jinx. He wants to keep going. Fife committing forward, keeps going.
Great
nice dodge
from
from Morgana and a nice root, but that zap's going to slow her and reveal her, and the Jinx rocket is going to steal the deal. That's got to be Baron.
I don't know if they can take Baron off that, but they definitely can take mid and maybe even bot. I was about to question the BF sword buy, but it turned out to be a great purchase there. I'm a big proponent of a Zeal item second on Jinx to get more Kraken Slayer shots down. That's where a lot of her damage comes from, is the Rocket Kraken Slayer combo. Hopefully we get a chance to see it at some point this game where it does like half of someone's health when she gets a crit rocket.
Whoa! Sono's in the Herald and out of the Herald. That was close.
She went to the same Herald driving school that Mets went to. Yeah.
Had the same driving instructor.
Mrs. Puff was not involved in teaching either of these students.
Okay, Mrs. Puff, I'm flooring it. Still a pretty even gold all around. I do kind of like what DDR have going for themselves right here. This Lilia is making an impact everywhere. In every fight, has a dark steel. It's getting some stacks. She's got the arm guard here. This is really shaping up for a DDR 2-0. I don't want to speak too early. It's a very small gold difference, and the dragons for Soggy Bottoms definitely could be a win condition.
Yeah, they're one off a soul. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think one thing that they're really good at playing at in the round robin was just playing around Johnny, and Johnny is massively ahead, and he is like a huge portion of this team. But it seems like whenever they're losing fights or losing objectives, it's because they decided to do something without Johnny, and it might just be the finals jitters of like, we got to get something done, we got to win this game. That's forcing them to do things before Johnny can get there. But at this point, he is a huge factor to them killing Jinx in these fights.
That's true. That we kind of saw that in that fight with the Lilia mid, where the Morgana was postured pretty far forward. They have the Ashe ulti, but as soon as the Ashe ult goes wide and the Morgana's caught out, the Garen's not there to dive on the backline and create all this pressure, this immovable object. And we're seeing another immovable object on this Vi charging towards this egg. Definitely gonna get both the kill and the pass down.
But that was so easy because Johnny was there to force the hand. Like, even if a few extra players from DDR were there, Johnny just runs through all of them and slaughters them with his 2 items. So this Ashe is doing very well this game.
They don't have a lot of CC to stop the Garen from running straight to the backline or peel him off. It's pretty much kill him or leave Jinx to her own devices. Especially with if he gets a Morg Shield on him, they don't even have the Sona ult angle to stop him from his advance.
So callback to something we talked about earlier. If we looked there, the Lilia ball took off the entire black shield of Morgana.
Yeah, I believe Morgana is maxing the W second.
So that black shield's going to be placed on someone with the thought that it's going to stop them, but it's going to go straight through and kill.
Yeah, it might even get to a point where these Anivia ultis can take it off, because it's definitely good to block the Anivia Qs and stop some of that, but Anivia is kind of getting caught out here alone here. It does commit the flash off the Ignite. We see Annie's in position for a fight here, but they're not sure if they want it. They're just kind of posturing, just kind of dancing. Decides to back up. I think that's the right play. Garen just got that prio mid. I think Garen's probably making these calls, saying, hey, we just need to play around our lanes. We need to play around our objectives. We have 3 dragons. We can chill. I think it is kind of on DDR to try and force stuff on the map. Not necessarily make plays, but definitely get vision down, show up.
Yeah, I think with who they had there, because again, Johnny wasn't there for the dragon, so there's no point in fighting it. They should have just used everything on the bird, get the kill, let them still take the dragon and leave. So rather than just giving up the dragon for free, they're able to pick up a objective out of that,
Right. Yeah,
or
especially,
get some gold.
especially with Johnny in the mid lane so close to support if the fight did go long for whatever reason.
I'm waiting to see when this IE gets completed for Jinx, because once that's up, it will be huge once she gets excited. It looks like she's about 150 gold. I think it's 720, 625, something like that to finish off the IE, so...
And we did
He's
touch
very
on the
close.
gold difference top. It is about 1k in favor of Garen. We didn't talk about how it's about 2k in favor of Lilia here. She is huge compared to this Vi. This Vi cannot go deep. If she tries to go in on the back line, she will be evaporated, I can only assume.
Yeah, the
Maybe
only
if she
worrisome
fights,
part...
she needs to play around the Garen for sure. She has angles in that regard. But in as far as just individual power rankings, this Lilia is beefy.
My only concern for the Lilia here is that Annie's got a on-click stun, so no skill shots required for her to actually stun the Lilia, which is kind of her big thing, is like moving around and dodging abilities. So if she gets hit by that Annie Q, then the rest of the CC can fall off.
Spirit, reveal us.
But it looks like he might be going Rylai's third to get some tankiness back.
Yeah, if Garen's in the vicinity, I feel like Vi shouldn't be too afraid to send it. But we will see what their plan is as they're walking forward, testing a little bit of vision. Monster's done a great job of prioritizing aggressive vision whenever he can.
I like this play by Soggy Bottoms of just like sitting in a bush, taking priority position, hoping that someone steps in, but it doesn't look like DDR is going to take the bait.
They've got this whole top side lit up. I think they want to play around that, especially since DDR has all of these wards in their own bot side.
Great flash from both sides. The support will always trade their flash for the AD carry's flash. So now I want to see Soggy Bottoms force the objective on this Jinx, like Ash Arrow. Right now, Jinx or Vi ult on top of her. We do need to see Santu's focus on auto-attacking in these team fights and getting a bunch of auto-attacks down because he is going the on-hit Ash build
They
instead
might
of...
be looking for this actually. It looks like Vi was all alone, but we're seeing that Ash ult gets a brief quick pick on the Jinx just like you said they would. And we're seeing a big Lilia ult coming out of nowhere, and then we're seeing the Urgot ult will pick up Soggy Bottom himself. But this Garen's here.
Garen's destroying the other side of the team fight, and Annie is late to the fight.
Completely zone this Anivia out of the fight and take only a little bit of damage in return, but this Lilia's got a lot of slows, and that wall flashes and does get out, but we're seeing the slow smite from the Lilia might be enough to keep these slows reapplied. Garen's dropping a little bit low here. Will he be able to get escape? Oh, it
No.
barely picks that up with the shutdown. That's so big for the Lilia.
This Lilia is huge. Yeah, it seemed like a big win con for Soggy Bottoms in the first round robin was the focus on the top side, and it seems like they've dropped that in the series so far, which is causing them some issues. They're still pretty close in gold, and they have 3 dragons, so if they're able to get this Ocean Soul, it'll be huge for them, but this Lilia is just taking over this game and has a 10-stack Dark Ring, so...
If I picked up a Megatron, I don't think that's amazing machine, but I don't know what else you're supposed to do against this Lilia, who's just going to be ticking with the burns, and it's just such a substantial amount of damage if you don't have any resistance.
Yeah, it was kind of sad to see how long it took them to kill the Jinx with how much they used to get her. So that's a worrying sign. It looks like the Ashe is going Terminus third, which is going to be really good for her for staying alive and getting some extra damage out in these team fights, which will be nice once that's complete for the Ashe.
This is a soul point for the Soggy Bottoms. They definitely want this. They've got the pink ward down. The Garen's here to zone off this. This has got to be a free dragon. Oh my god!
Oh no! What?
Hell yes.
That was
Great
their one
play.
angle, and that is actually so devastating for the Soggy Bottoms. That was their soul point. That was a clean getaway. He snuck in one of the few positions they didn't have vision, where Garen couldn't zone him. He went at max range.
Like I mentioned earlier, This is now 5 extra minutes on this clock before
That is
Bottoms has a chance to
that's
stall.
exactly what you're talking about, where they need these dragons to stall for time for the Jinx to come online, and that's
Uh-oh.
exactly what that was. Ooh, Assault goes a little wide here as Fife tries to pressure this Ashe.
Good
Yeah,
spell
it's
shield.
interesting.
It's not the ult though.
Yep, that was a good spell shield by the Morgana. Really making this Lilia's job a little harder than it could be otherwise. And speaking of Lilia, this Vi is showing up to scrap, but full combo does about 100 damage, and Lilia is faster than Vi, and really can just dance around her all day here.
Yeah, this is the drain take aspect of that Lilia. She's able to
Yeah.
just dance around and deal her damage and not take much damage.
Oh, and the Timber's
on
committed
top
here,
of the
though,
Anivia.
but it is on an Anivia with an egg and a Seraph. Not going to finish anything off here.
Yeah, Soggy Bottoms doesn't have any damage at this point.
Yeah,
They
they're
don't-
losing their whole base. It might be too late for them to start getting some.
Yeah, that Dragon Steel actually might have just won the game
Wow.
for DDR as they're able to push these two in.
Yeah, because that was the Ocean Soul, I think?
Yeah, that would have been Ocean Soul for
Yeah,
Soggy
and that
Bottoms.
could have helped a lot in some of the siege scenario. But having the Ocean Soul and a wave of Baron super minions, what do you do?
I would love to see Jack back up here and use TP on whatever minion is eating the tower shots.
Right. Just
so
have
that
it free tank damage on
Yeah,
on the
free-
wave here.
free tank damage, and then that continues to let the cannons, as you can see, the cannons are doing most of the damage to it.
Yep.
So if it's not depleting the front line, then those guys get to freely just hit, and so
And that is the Nexus turret, and they will call that sufficient. They're going to back it up here. Wow.
great play from DDR there.
This is
Wow.
a tough
Shout
one to
out
come back
Fuller.
from for
Oh
Soggy
my
Bottoms.
god. Sometimes we see people get punished for going for those steal plays. Everyone kind of wants to try to be the hero, hover around, but he was in the right spot at the right time to do exactly what he was looking to do.
I wouldn't mind if they just TP and then just walked back mid. I think they can just face tank a 5v5 fight here, and even if they go slightly even or 3v2 or 3-for-3, something along those lines, they can still just end the game.
Yeah, they do have all 4 teleports in this game are up, so I don't think we're going to see any teleports into the base, because, yeah, we don't have any wisdom there on the side of DDR yet, but could be interesting to see how these TPs are used in some of these macro plays here, once we get closer to the later end of the game.
Yeah, it turns out that having a ton of damage seems to be like the best way to play these games lately, because there's like no damage on the side of Soggy Bottoms, and they just can't kill anyone fast enough to take advantage of it.
This Garen power spike was strong, but they weren't able to utilize it before Lilia just suddenly got 5k gold.
Yeah, I think Johnny got massively ahead and then wasn't able to get any
Seeing a
support.
TP here and the counter TP, the Ashe ult going a little bit wide. We're seeing the root here, the Tibbet's committed. We're seeing a whole fight here. This could be it for the whole game here, folks. Vi's going in for the
final.
backline, switch for everything. Vi goes on to the Jinx here in the backline. We keep kiting. She goes down to the Garen ulti. This could be a good fight. Santus is kiting on the backline, but it's going to get zoned out by this Anivia here. Anivia's chunking him down. He's totally split from his team.
Yeah, he decided to frontline Ashe there in that team fight, which
He
Isn't
could've
a
got
recommended
51
strategy,
into
but-
Persona, but this Anivia cannot be disrespected. And speaking of disrespected, this Anivia is walking around the tower here. She's going to be doing a lot of damage, and this has to spell shield, and this Morgana has no defensive mechanism for herself now.
Oh.
And the Anivia
Yeah.
still picks off the
they
Ashe
should
despite
just
the
walk
spell
past
shield.
this tower and end the game, but I don't think any of them have noticed how low the
Yeah, the minions
Nexus
mid.
tower is. Looks like they called GG, and that's a championship for the DDR.
Wow. What a
Well
crazy
played
series.
All around. Well played, all players.
That was just a Fife clinic on how to play jungle and dominate for your team.